Today on the Diz List, we count down the top 5 reasons you still need to go to Animal Kingdom.
Welcome to the Diz List, the podcast that lists everything in Walt Disney World. I'm Nick.
And I'm Rob, and today we're going to discuss why you still need to go to Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
Well, the reason we kind of came up with this idea was this week we've had a lot of previews of the new Zootopia.
Right.
I don't love the name. Zoogether it's
Weird.
a little goofy for me to say. I'm sure some people love it. People are saying, I like the name. Good. I'm glad you like the name. I don't like the name.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the show is cool. I have not watched it. Have you watched it yet?
I did watch. It was cut up a little bit because it's, not long, but it's long enough. Yeah, I watched it. It's okay. It's cute.
Yeah.
The stuff I saw.
I haven't seen any yet. We are going to Disney here in a couple months with family, and this is going to sound contradictory, but I need to explain myself before we do this episode.
Okay.
We're mainly going there to see family. We're going to do 2 Disney days, and I let the family vote. Okay, which days can we do? Another day is going to be at Universal,
right?
So I can report back on Universal for people that are interested. But we're really only going to do 2 days. We're going to do an Animal Kingdom and an Epcot. My daughter and I
Magic Kingdom.
What?
Magic Kingdom. Epcot.
What did I say?
Animal Kingdom.
Magic. Thank you. Yes, you were right. We're going to do Magic Kingdom and we're going to do Epcot. My daughter and I are Magic Kingdom fans, and my son and my wife like Epcot. So those are the 2 that we chose. But I want to be clear that just because we're doing an episode saying don't skip it, I don't.
No,
you know what I mean?
I do. So,
but I want to be clear about that too. Well, he just said
right, but
don't skip it, and he's skipping it.
Right, but if you have 2 days,
yeah,
then skip it. Mm-hmm. But our point is, I'm guilty, right? Because I told my wife what we were doing for a show. She was like, how can you even in good conscience do that? Because you consistently have been saying lately, with all the rides shut down, don't go to Animal Kingdom. And some of that is maybe a bit hyperbolic on my side.
Sure.
Maybe it was overreacting. Maybe it's my being upset about all the rides that are getting not closed, but like just the refurbishments. It stinks when that happens, right?
Well, and part of what we're going to talk about are things that aren't just major rides. And we're going to talk about that too, but there's so much about the park that is just incredible. Now, right. I went back and I rewatched the Imagineering story on Disney Plus, and one of the episodes was sort of the formation with Joe Rohde of Animal Kingdom, and just the attention to detail, which we're going to get to in our list. So I'm going to stop now. We'll get back to that a little bit more, but we just want to kind of entice everybody. Sure, we're going to talk about Animal Kingdom in general, but we really want to get down to why it's such a great place and why you need to remember, even though there's some stuff closed, a lot of the good stuff is still there and it's still worth going to.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to talking about that in the second half of the show. I wanted to mention something. Our friends over at Rope Drop and Park Hop, they messaged me last night and said, hey, we're in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. And then the next thing was, there's a Bills party, and it is insane. And I was like, oh, yeah, the Bills are playing in Miami this week. And then I was having a conversation back and forth. And then this morning, they said that basically some of their friends were staying at the Marriott where the Bills are.
Yeah.
And that the pictures coming from there were insane. And I said, oh, you think that's insane? And I was like, told them about how just go to a tailgate or whatever.
And in Buffalo, right.
And so then the comment back was, if what I saw last night was any indication, I think I'm too old for that. So I sent them a reel of a bunch of people jumping off of the 12-foot snowbanks into burning tables. And I was like, you mean you don't want to do this?
Well, and that stuff seems extreme. Like, if you've never been to a Bills game before.
Pinto Ron?
Yeah, Pinto Ron is a guy who's been going to Bills games for, I don't know, maybe since the beginning.
He celebrated his 500th game.
There you go. And Pinto Ron cooks food on the hood of his Pinto. That's why it's called that.
In that area, they have people cooking in filing cabinets and mailboxes.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And then at the end, they take ketchup and mustard, very appropriate for this Animal Kingdom episode, which we'll get to, and they squeeze the ketchup and mustard all over Pinto Ron.
Well,
and it's like this tradition that they do.
There's a cool documentary about like where that started and how that started. So it's a mini documentary on like YouTube or something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty.
But I just wanted to mention that because it was a way for us to talk about the Bills while still being adjacent to the podcast, because it was a podcast friend who mentioned it.
And they play another Florida team the week after.
Yes,
they're going to be playing Tampa Bay. Yes. I will be at that game.
As will I.
That's right.
Yes.
Not separate but together.
Yes.
I'm going with family. You're going with.
I think we'll be able to.
Good friends.
We will be able to see each other from our seats.
Yes, because we'll meet up and we'll get a picture.
You're on the tunnel end, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay,
correct. So we're right where the team comes out.
I'm legitimately just above the tunnel.
Awesome. Good.
I'm like the second row.
We'll meet up and we'll get a photo for everybody.
All right. And then you had something else I thought you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I read this and I mentioned it to you earlier, and you knew a little bit more about this than me. So I'll set it up and then I'll let you slam dunk it here. So I'm not, I will say this first, I'm not a huge video game guy. My son loves it. I know you and your son do that quite a bit. I'm not anti, I just don't play a lot. I'm usually playing the guitar if I have free time. But Fortnite, which I will admit I have never played, I'm aware of it because both of my kids were glued to it during COVID. Fortnite is teaming up with Disneyland. Now it's specifically Disneyland.
They have been teamed up with Disney.
Okay.
Since last D23. That was one of the big announcements.
I guess I do remember that now.
Yeah. There's a lot of Disney related stuff going on in Fortnite right now. So I'm going to let you go ahead and finish, and then I'll tell you some extra stuff.
They announced these little, and you'll explain it more, but mini games within the game of Fortnite. So if you're not a video game person, I'll try to make this really, really simple here. Fortnite is the overall game that you can play, and within that game, there's these mini games that you can play. Does that make sense? Am I saying it right? Because you have played it.
Yeah, I play Fortnite.
Okay. Now, let me just say what the games are, and this is going to entice everybody to want to be, okay, why do I want to listen to this? Here's why it's interesting for Parks fans. If you're currently like, all right, am I going to hit fast forward? Don't fast forward this. This is the good part here. So I'll start with my favorite one. There is a Haunted Mansion scavenger hunt game.
Yes.
There is a Space Mountain rocket race. A Matterhorn slip and climb, which you can see this is why it's Disneyland.
Yeah, that's the most frustrating one.
There is Indiana Jones Tomb Runner.
Oh, okay. That might be more frustrating, actually.
Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Sneak Out. Star Wars Stormtrooper Showdown. I saw some footage from that, actually. And I saw footage of Web Slinger's Spider-Bot Blaster.
Okay.
So they can do Spider-Man because it's on the West Coast. So go for it and kind of explain a little bit better, because I feel like I was going the right way, but I don't think I was.
So I won't get into like the difference between like mini games and whatever. Fortnite is not what it used to be. So if your vision of Fortnite is a first person shooter where you go on,
everybody drops from a bus or something.
So they certainly have that. That's the battle royale.
Okay.
Currently, right now, they're in like a Simpsons mode.
Okay.
So that's Disney. I mean now, right? So that's going on, and then additionally now they just released this. It's called the Game Rush, and Game Rushes happen where you basically sign in. You can do it public, you can do it private, so you don't have to play with other people. This is not about hurting each other. It's about who can get the most points in the mini games.
So it sounds like it's more family friendly, or if you're...
Fortnite is way more family friendly than it initially was.
So if you don't want your kids going around and shooting other people, this sounds like it's a good option.
I would highly suggest people whose vision of Fortnite is the original Fortnite, and that's why they don't let their kids play. Mm-hmm. I would highly suggest that they go and look at what it is now, because it is not the same. Because my wife took a little bit of convincing. I was like, "Can you please look at this, and so you can see what it is?"
Yeah,
there are like you are shooting, like for instance, those spiders.
Mm-hmm.
You are potentially battling the stormtroopers, but in these mini games, you are not shooting each other. And even if you are, even in the Fortnite ones, like it's more of a. It is not leading to like violence, is what I would say. Well, it's not gory or nothing like that.
Take Star Wars, for example. When they shoot a stormtrooper, there's just like a burn mark and they fall down.
Right. So the mini games you described were great. I do like the Haunted Mansion one. It's frustrating for me though, because I can't find, like, you have to find one of the things you got to do is find these hidden rooms within the Haunted Mansion. And every single time I get to the third one you've got to find, it times out. Like I run out of time.
I might want to play that one. I would be interested in playing with my son.
So the thing is, you don't just get to choose what you play. You sign into the Game Rush.
Oh, okay.
You sign into the Game Rush. You play all of these, and you get rated. So you can play it privately, so you don't have to have other people, and you can do it like if you're playing on the same console. You could be in the game with your son, for instance, and just play two.
That's what I was gonna say.
1-on-1.
Can you play with somebody, friend,
and then
sibling?
You can play friends online, or you can play like just open games. Like I did it both ways. My daughter and I wanted to see it. So actually, she had used up all of her electronics time for the day, so I was like, I'll play.
Nice.
So yeah, it's pretty cool actually. I enjoyed it. It's Mikey had sent it to me. Patron Mikey. He had sent it to me in a reel, and I was like, oh yeah, that's Fortnite.
Maybe that's where I saw it from.
Maybe. And then I said, then I played it, and I wrote back, it's actually pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was your final take be for parents listening who are not gamers like me and are not sure if they want their younger kid playing it? So what do you think is an okay age group? Really anybody at this point?
If you're dexterous enough to actually do the things there, especially, and if you're worried about like anything that could be misconstrued as like being, I don't know, inappropriate, maybe you just put it on private mode and you're playing individually.
Yeah.
But even on like the people who are playing in Disney mode you're not generally having to worry about. I would say appropriate age for that part of the game, I think is probably, 8 and up.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like the Space Mountain one is like you jump onto the rail of the roller coaster and you're like collecting these coins as you go, and like depending on which way you're pushing, you're either sprinting that direction or not. So it's not like
cool. Sounds fun.
And it's not incredibly frustrating with the exception of the Matterhorn one is, and that's really frustrating because you have like everything's icy and you're slipping all over the place. And then I find the Indiana Jones one is frustrating just because like there's all the booby traps and like you can't tell where they are, and it's like that gets a little frustrating. But yeah,
cool.
So
I liked
it.
That was a big one for news.
Sorry,
we didn't have a ton of other news there, but I'm glad that you kind of went through it for listeners, and I'm sure we're going to get people that'll send messages. Hey, my kid really liked it, and
yeah.
So yeah, let us know what you think. That's really it. Before we go, we have a lot to talk about with Animal Kingdom.
Yes, we do.
We'll probably head off to the halftime show soon here.
Absolutely. The halftime show, as always, is brought to you by our patrons. They are the ones who make it possible for us to do this every week, and they get early access to new episodes as well as bonus content once a week. And then after 3 months, they get a free mug. So we're going to head off to the halftime show brought to you by our Patreon patrons, and we'll see you right after the break. Welcome back. Rob, I've got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My question is this. How often do you have a podcast that you listen to or some sort of a influencer that you follow or something like that that has accounts or content elsewhere, but you don't consume it in those places?
It's a good question. Let's use like Tim Tracker, for example.
Yes. Okay.
So the cool thing about Tim Tracker is that, he'll do his long videos, and then he'll do like, kind of goofy TikTok things where they're like lip syncing stuff.
Yeah.
I'll see that. It's funny. I restarted our TikTok.
Yeah.
And I've been posting some stuff on there, and we're doing pretty well, honestly. And I'm happy about that. But it's not anything different.
Right. So my point is,
sure,
if you are listening to this, so if you are a listener on Spotify, if you are listening on Apple, is it Apple Podcast? Whatever. I'm not an Apple guy.
I know what you're getting at here.
Yeah.
This is good.
Okay. And you don't consume our stuff on YouTube, that's fine. I don't need you to watch our videos. I really don't. Like, I would love for you to. And and I'm posting the video form of this onto Spotify anyway.
Yeah.
The thing I would say is, if you could do us a favor, if you consume us on YouTube, if you could go to Spotify and follow us there, if you consume us on Spotify or another podcast place, if you could go to YouTube and follow us there, because all of those things help the algorithm.
Yeah.
And that's our call to action this week. And it's going to be our call to action probably this month is that,
we have 4 now.
we have 4 what?
We have 4 places.
Yeah. You can go to YouTube.
Uh-huh.
You can go to Spotify.
Yeah.
You can go to TikTok.
Or we'll say Spotify/Apple Podcasts.
TikTok and then Instagram.
Yeah.
I meant more along for the content itself.
Yes.
Where you consume
Oh,
us.
the full show. Correct.
The full show.
All
Yep.
right.
But
Understood.
I'm with you. And it's not like we're not begging for followers. That's not my point. My thing is
Just helps.
we like to have a little conversation about that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
look at it as a favor to us. We would appreciate it.
yeah. So we're gonna start talking about Animal Kingdom, and like I said, I'm always guilty of saying right now that you could skip it, and it's more me just being upset because it went from a park that I was happy to spend 2 days in, that now I don't think you can spend 2 days in. But we have a lot of good reasons why you should be able to, you should go there.
5 main ones for me, and number 5, I really need your help on because you're better at this because of my limitation. And that's food. So number 5 is food, and that it's not 5 because it's the worst. We're sort of listing 5 really important things.
Yeah.
So you're going to see like the next spoiler. The next one is rides, only because this isn't like a top 5. It's like 5 things that we think are important.
Yep.
So we're going to do food here first. And I have it broken down into table service and quick service. I've done some of these. I think I've done 1 or 2 you haven't done, but I think you've done more than me here. So I guess big picture stuff is that the food here is pretty incredible. And you've had some really great stories of places that you've eaten. And I'll start with a short story is you were talking to me about how great the food was at Tiffin's, for example. Mm-hmm. And Tiffin's is connected to, what's the name of the lounge?
Nomad Lounge.
Nomad Lounge.
If I'm going to be honest so Tiffin's is good.
Sure.
And it's like the signature dining.
Uh-huh.
If you can get into Nomad Lounge, there's no reservations. You got to get on a wait list. If you can get in there.
Yeah.
Nomad Lounge is the way to go.
Yeah.
But to guarantee yourself to have that kind of food, you got to get a reservation for Tiffin's.
But I think, well, to be fair, everywhere in Disney has some really incredible dining. And,
exception of that would be Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios sucks.
I guess you're right. And,
It's awful.
and the cool thing about Epcot is, Disney has its fingers in all the different countries, but they kind of present their own thing, which I think is kind of nice there, where you get a nicer variety. But you want me to start with quick service or table service here?
You're listing them all off?
Well, I'm just going to talk about a couple, and you can chime in if you want
go
to.
ahead.
I'm just
Go ahead.
curious if you've been to them. So, Satuli Canteen is one of my favorites. That's at quick service.
It's a fantastic
It's
place.
fantastic. I would kind of compare it to like a Chipotle style where it's not really Mexican
Not Chipotle food, but Chipotle
the
style or Subway style,
Yeah.
or like even like a Blaze Pizza where you're getting to make or customize your, in this case, a bowl.
I would say the place that we eat equally as much, thank you. Yes, is Flame Tree Barbecue. We actually eat there a lot, and the barbecue is not bad. I think
It's in a good location.
It. I don't know though. I was gonna say I think I prefer it to the one in Epcot, but the Epcot one has gotten
That would be
better.
the right answer.
Harambe Market. Have you eaten there before?
I have.
Okay, how's that?
Harambe Market is the one that's. Wait, no, maybe I didn't eat the Harambe Market. I haven't eaten at Harambe Market. I apologize.
Restaurantosaurus isn't. I think
That's gone now.
it's not there anymore. I don't know if they're retheming it. I'm not sure if
I
they're
would assume they are.
Okay. Pizzafari. I haven't eaten because I can't.
Yeah.
Creature Comforts. That's like the little. Is that the little coffee place?
Yes, it is. I think that's their Starbucks.
And I'm going to skip up top to table service.
You
because
forgot Yak and Yeti.
Yak and Yeti for quick service.
There's a Yak and Yeti quick service too.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's
let's,
good.
So let's do Yak and Yeti in general. So the regular Yak and Yeti you love.
Yak and Yeti might be some of the best in-park food outside of Epcot.
Wow.
Yep.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's really good. Service was great, except for like the manager wasn't. So like they screwed up and they brought something out wrong the last time we were there. Brought it out in the wrong order. And so like we got our appetizer after we got our entrees.
Weird.
And our waiter was like super apologetic. And then he got the manager. And I didn't even ask him to. The manager comes over and he's like, "Oh yeah, sometimes that happens," and then walked away. I was like,
Oh.
"Cool, bro."
Okay.
Like,
all right.
I gotcha. See how you've already used up your quota of comps today, obviously.
Tusker House, you love. That's the
God.
buffet, right? With the character buffet.
Yeah,
that's a good one too.
It's a great place. Yeah, great place for kids. Great place for anybody really. Food's good. Adventurous eaters will be happy as well as picky eaters. Absolutely.
Rainforest Cafe is on this list, even though it's not technically in the park. It is, but it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
So when you, and I don't know if people have seen this before, when you get to Animal Kingdom, if you look off to the left, that's where Rainforest Cafe is.
Yeah.
And there's also an entrance into the park from the back of Rainforest Cafe. We have eaten there before, and it was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
It's Rainforest Cafe. Yeah.
It's exactly what you would expect, and if you've been to one, it's a big chain. It's it's exactly what you think it is. And
if you have somebody who wants consistency, if you're the family who, when you go on the road, you don't stop at the local shop, you go to the Applebee's, the Chili's, or whatever, this might be the way to go.
Or you have kids who are familiar with it and are excited because they know. Okay, gotcha.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
And then Tiffin's and Nomad Lounge, the reason we list those together is they're kind of housed in the same building. Well, you walk through Nomad Lounge to get into Tiffin's.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. But yeah, the lounge is, most signature restaurants have a lounge attached to them. This is the lounge for Tiffin's. Nomad Lounge has the best churros on property, and they are gluten-free.
They were excellent. Because I've never had a Disney churro other than that.
Yeah.
I did watch, speaking of churros, I was watching another Tim Tracker video. I enjoy watching him. He's not affiliated with the show, I wish, but he's great. And he was eating, this sounded really, really good. It was one of the holiday churros for their holiday party that they're having now. And it was a cherry Coke flavored churro. And he said he's not really a huge fan of, Coke or cherry Coke, but to me, that sounds awesome. I would love that flavor.
What was that, Nomad Lounge?
No. It was in Magic Kingdom. But it just reminded me.
Magic Kingdom churros are awful.
It just reminded me because it was a specially flavored churro that I would like to try, but definitely not something that would be on our menu.
Yep.
There were two at the bottom. I didn't really know what they are or where they are. Was 8 Spoon Cafe and Trilobites. I'm assuming Trilobites is something over in the
it was like a little
area.
stand. Yeah, I mean, what I would say is that stuff that's not on there that it should be are like there's little stands here and there. I can't remember the flatbread, Mr. Kamal's maybe, but the flatbread place is pretty cool. They usually have a decent like seasonal thing going on.
Yep.
Roast corn is hit or miss because roast corn sometimes they're doing it on the fire. And they're doing it right there. In that case, get it. It's like street corn.
And that's back by the safari, right?
So if you're at the bar,
Dawa Bar. Yeah.
It's like if you're looking out toward where the drummers and everything
you're watching the performers.
Yeah,
it's past it on the right.
If you go to the left, it's down there a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought it was on the right. Okay, gotcha.
Well, it's on the right hand side, but you got to go out out from Dawa Bar, turn left, walk,
right, like
and on
you're
the
going
right
to safari, and then you kind of scoop around.
Yeah, so
I think that's where you get in for, Maharaj or.
It's in that area. It's in that area.
Gotcha. Okay, yep. So we'll end with this here for number 5. Food. If you were to rank the food there of the 4 parks,
2. That's easy.
Okay,
that's
great.
easy.
And you'd say Epcot would be 1. I mean, you've kind of already answered the rest.
It goes. Yeah, it's very easy.
Magic Kingdom would be 3.
Epcot, Animal Kingdom, and then you've got Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios. And people are yelling, "Oh, what about the Brown Derby? Brown Derby's awful."
Yeah, I haven't eaten there, and all I've heard from you, I don't really
period full
want
stop.
to.
Yeah, it's not good.
But the more I eat in Galaxy's Edge,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just, but I'm not. That's no way is going to bring it over the meals that I've had
at Animal Kingdom.
No, not at all. So number 4, I mentioned previously. I wasn't trying to spoil anything. We just have 4 reasons and things we want to talk about. The rides there, although there aren't a lot of them. Personally, one of them is hard to say. It's like my number 2 or number 3 favorite ride. Period, and that is Expedition Everest. It's like one of my favorite rides. I think
it might be my favorite. And I know it's Rob's. Your Scout Rob's.
Yeah.
So like,
oh yeah,
Expedition Everest.
It's excellent.
Might be my favorite ride.
Yeah.
It's like on any given day, I could change my mind. You know what I mean on that one because Cosmic Rewind's really good. Tron's really good.
Yeah.
Expedition Everest is really good, but like I'll be honest with you. One of my top 5 rides, probably, or top 5 attractions of all time, is here too, and that's the safari.
Yeah,
the safari is amazing. Like you can't.
That's actually the next one.
Yeah.
So just jump to that.
Yeah, I mean the safaris are. I mean, where else are you going to experience that? And if you pick it right, pick the time right, you can get a lot of really cool sightings of the animals.
Yeah.
And the drivers know their stuff.
They do.
Like they really and truly do. Some are more outgoing than others. Some are quieter. And if you get on like I've been on a trip or a truck or tour or a safari, whatever you want to call it, with a family with a kid who just doesn't want to sit down, and then it turns into like a babysitting expedition.
Yeah, true.
But if you're on a good truck, usually it ends up well. So I really like that one.
Another tip that I've heard that I'll just share with everyone about Kilimanjaro safaris is I've heard go really early because the animals are active and they're out. It's not super hot, which is absolutely true.
Yep.
But the last time we were there midday. I want to say it's 3:30 the time when we rode it, and it was rainy.
Yes, that's the time to go.
And we had everybody was out. I mean, even the driver said, "I've never seen these animals active." And this is a cast member.
Yep.
I've never seen them active like this before. So we got a lot of it on video, luckily, and we were just kind of happy at the end. And she was excellent too. The cast member did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
So of all the times I've been on that ride, I can't even count how many. You never know. It's hit or miss, but sometimes you may get lucky, and it's an amazing one.
Yeah,
and that was us last time too.
Yeah.
And this next one we both don't love, but it's some people do. Who knows? It's Kali River Rapids. People really like that ride when it's super hot. You can cool off. You're making a face.
I just think that people who really like it can't be my friend.
There aren't a lot. I've heard a few times, but not a lot. Not a lot of people like it. But
I've never met a single person who says that ride makes sense.
Would you like it if it made sense and they rethemed it to something else?
I don't think those rides make sense in any park that's not a water park.
Okay.
In my opinion. Because it's not wet to like splash you. That's not Splash Mountain or Tiana's.
Yeah.
This is wet to make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like if you're in the and you don't, it's literally a roulette wheel.
Yeah.
You have no clue. You could be the one that's facing backwards when you go down the drops and you get slammed.
Yeah.
You could be the one that's underneath the waterfall. You could walk off that completely dry, or you could walk off it where you
soaked.
are totally soaked, like you just jumped in a pool with your clothes on.
Last time we went with our kids, and my wife and I didn't do it last time. We rode it, and like I was just soaked and wet, and you know that where you're like you get kind of numb because your shorts are so wet.
Even if you put
it.
rain gear on,
yeah,
you can get very soaked.
We did, yeah, and
even
my
with rain
shorts,
gear.
it wasn't comfortable the rest of the day. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Dinosaur
That's
/ Indiana Jones is next on the list, which I mean we won't talk about.
Right,
it
but if we're talking about 2026,
yeah,
right, reasons to go in 2026. Sure. Dinosaur is not really a reason to go.
Neither is Triceratops.
Well, that one's
Spin.
gone. Triceratops Spin's gone.
Primeval Worlds, but did you ever ride that?
What's up?
Primeval World, the little roller coaster there in the corner.
No, it was permanently closed before I went.
Okay,
it closed in like early 2019.
Yeah.
But then you have Pandora.
Yeah. We have 2.
And Flight of Passage is pretty solid.
It is.
I know you don't like it right now with the
yes.
3D and you've noticed it started to bother you.
Still a top 10 ride for me right now. It's towards the end, maybe into 11 or 12 because of that reason, but it's still an amazing experience.
I would put it probably in the top 10 as well, in my overall top 10. I like it because of how much my kids like it. I think they both really enjoy it. And I also enjoy like the memory of going with my mom when she wrote it. She thought it was the greatest thing she's ever done.
Oh, yeah.
And like,
I could see that.
Because it's exciting. It's a kind of a cool thing. And it was one of the very first ones she did. So she thought it was really cool. I'm not so excited about the other ride in Pandora.
I love it.
I
love it. It's good and relaxing. It's Navi River Journey. We don't have to spend too much time. We still got 3, 2, and 1 here that we got to talk about here. Mm-hmm. Number 3, we talk about these all the time, so we don't really have to go into it in depth because recently we talked about shows, and we have our Festival of the Lion King.
Best show on property.
It's amazing.
Or best show in a park on property, I should say.
Finding Nemo, also excellent. I mean, a step down, but not by a lot. Pretty great show too for a lot of reasons.
I really like that one.
And Feathered Friends in Flight, I actually really enjoy, and it's had some different iterations, but not on the same level as the first two. But if it's there and it's open and people are walking in, we have some free time, we'll do it and we enjoy it. I like watching.
If we're doing a
birds.
show, which we are, about reasons to visit Animal Kingdom in 2026, right? Reasons to still go, even though the park is like under construction. The shows are a major part of why you still need to go.
Definitely.
A major part. They are so good. First of all, Festival of Lion King is just amazing.
Well, that Nemo, they're Broadway caliber. I've seen Broadway shows. Those are Broadway caliber.
I know. And I mean, in fact, in AJ Wolf's book, she interviewed for the book 2 cast members who she's friends with, who were on Broadway, moved down during COVID.
Right. That's a good story from the book.
They went back and were like, forget this. I'm going back to Disney.
Yeah, we're staying in Disney.
We're staying at Disney, and we're going to work. We're going to work doing that. So when you think about that, it's just remarkable how that they were literally on Broadway.
Yeah.
I won't say which show because I want you guys to go and read the book.
The book is great. Yeah.
Because the book is phenomenal.
Yeah, I finally finished.
But it's a very, very, very big show that might have a movie coming out soon.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. So, witches.
Yes.
All right. So go ahead.
Number two, it will create some interesting discussion, I'm sure, but number 2 is theming and attention to details. And if you don't know where to look anywhere. Because if you look at these buildings, they are not clean. They are not crisp. If you take any building, well, maybe not any building in like the area of when you walk into Hollywood Studios, it's supposed to be like California, right? Classic California, clean, sharp edges everywhere.
Art Deco, maybe mid-century modern.
This is the opposite of that. So what they do is they age, and when it opened on the first day, everything opened is looking aged. And they would go to these countries and they would see how they built these roofs. They had actual craftsmen helping them build these thatched roofs the right way and putting pieces of roofing together, of things, making things look like they were rusted, even though they weren't, and being able to hold up to the rains and being strong enough that when a hurricane comes through, they're not going to go flying off. I mean, you look, when a hurricane comes through, there's some damage, but there's not a lot because these engineers and all of these people that put the parks together did a great job planning for that. So, I mean, there's so many great details. All the ones in Asia, the way they craft all that stone is absolutely beautiful. There's just so much. And then we haven't even gotten to the attention to detail over in Pandora. That is incredible too.
I have 2 words.
Go for it.
Joe Rohde.
Yes.
That's it.
I know. He's
Full
amazing.
Stop. He is so remarkable. I don't think you understand. I have been now, so I've obviously been at Animal Kingdom. I stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge. I stayed at Aulani. Okay. Those are 3 pretty big Joe Rohde projects. And one thing I'll tell you about all the projects he's done is that detail matters to him.
Yeah.
And attention, not just to detail, but not fake detail, authentic.
Let's say we have some younger listeners right now, and most of our listeners know who Joe Rohde is. What's your quick description of who is this guy? And what makes him iconic visually?
He is one of the most renowned Disney Imagineers of I would call it the modern era.
Yeah.
Imagineers.
You go back, Harper Goff.
Yeah. So but of the modern day Imagineers, he is certainly probably the greatest one. Where today they design a new resort and it's very clearly an architect who designed it. Joe Rohde designed resorts with the idea from the lens of an Imagineer, and then told the architects, figure it out, but it's got to look like this. You know what I mean? So when you walk into Animal Kingdom Lodge, you feel like you're in a giant lodge in Africa. When you walk into Africa in Animal Kingdom, and you feel like you're in a rural village in Africa, that's so purposeful. The cracked plaster that is equally cracked today as it was the first day, okay, is tantamount to your immersion. One of my complaints about Disney versus Universal is Universal tends to do better with the immersion, in my opinion. When you think about their new lands,
sure,
okay. Animal Kingdom is different. Animal Kingdom is the most, in my opinion, the most immersive park.
Yeah.
And I think has more immersive lands even than Galaxy's Edge. Galaxy's Edge is close.
It is a similar kind of vibe.
Yeah.
If we're talking like Africa, for example.
Yeah, I just feel like, because I can imagine that I'm actually in Africa. I can imagine that I'm actually in these places.
Here's the
Africa, I think, is the peak of that park. If I'm going to pick a favorite part of that park, that's my favorite part.
one reason I think that it does so well is you don't notice it because they do such a good job. So shout out to not only Joe Rohde, but the artists too. The people that are there painting in the patina on things to make it look rusted and painting in all these little cracks and making it look so realistic. It's so amazing how they do all of that too. And I asked you a two-part question and we got off track.
Sorry.
And that's not the point. My point was if you've never seen Joe Rohde before, one of the things that is so iconic about him, if you haven't seen him in person, he has multiple earrings hanging from one ear, and they're very heavy, so they kind of hang down.
Yeah.
So no judgment on people can look however they want. I'm just saying if you see an interview with a guy who has these really heavy earrings hanging down, that's Joe Rohde.
Yeah.
It's just a really easy way. Sometimes his facial hair is a little different here and there, but that's a very iconic thing. So if you might be listening now going, oh, I think I've seen that guy before.
Yeah.
That's Joe Rohde, who has done.
Yeah, if you don't know who he is, then you should definitely look him up.
Well, and that's why I wanted to add that in too, because I know we have some younger listeners and they may not know who this Disney Imagineer hero is.
Disney legend.
But I think that was something I knew was going to come up anyway. And I want to get to number one here. We only have a little bit of time left, but this is kind of why I wanted to put this one at number one is when Walt created Disneyland and he wanted to do the Jungle Cruise, he wanted real live animals. Yeah. But he couldn't really do it. And honestly, those animals that are in the Jungle Cruise are not even audio animatronics. They are just moving sculptures. Okay,
Yeah.
They weren't really made the same way that Haunted Mansion and Pirates. That technology came a little bit later. But he wanted real live animals. Mm-hmm. So I think it's Walt Disney's Animal Kingdom, or it's Disney's Animal Kingdom, right?
Yeah.
It's not just Walt because Roy's part of it too. But I think if Walt were alive, he would be so excited that now there finally is a ride where you can go through and be around real animals. Because that was his vision. And that's why I put that one at the top. And I realize it's not 1 through 5, but I think it's the best one to end with because it really sets this park apart from most others. To be fair though, Busch Gardens had tigers, and I remember seeing the tigers in the 80s, and that was cool. So, and people are like, well, what about this? Yeah, I realize that. Yeah, but it's not just a zoo. It's part of it.
Well, it's not a zoo.
No.
It's a conservation going on.
It is. And perfect. That's what I wanted to lead into here, is that when it was built, one of the things that they wanted to do was to build all those areas where there is the veterinary and they take care of the animals, which you've been in.
They do more than just take care of them.
Perfect way I wanted to end is I wanted you to talk about the tour that you went on to finish off our show.
So here's what I'll say. If you are doubting, or I don't want to go to Animal Kingdom in 2026. I have kids that are too young to go on Everest, or I don't like roller coasters or whatever. If that's you, you absolutely should go and then maybe go on one of the special trips, one of the special tours. So I did the Rhinos tour. It was phenomenal. What I will tell you is that this past week or 2 weeks ago, the world's last male white rhino died.
Oh.
Okay. So it is functionally an extinct species. Huh. However, Disney and other, I forget what the organization is, but in other places around the world might be the key to actually reviving the species somehow.
That's incredible.
When you think about that.
Yeah. That just this theme park.
That a theme park can do that. The things I learned on that tour made me totally change my mind about the idea, because I don't mind going to zoos, and I'm not I'm not a PETA member. I'm not going to go out there and be like, you've got to. This is ridiculous. You can't have, animals on display. But I questioned a little bit some of the ethics behind it, right? And then when I went out on this tour, you find stuff out, right? You learn that if you're out there and you don't happen to see this animal, it's not because he's sick. It's not because he's off stage because we took them off stage. They're off stage because they didn't feel like it, and we don't force them anywhere. No. But they're like, most of the times they go out there because they're food motivated. And oh, by the way, they don't force them back in at night. If they want to go in, they can. Most of them have a routine and they do it, but again, they're food motivated. They get fed at night in there. Going to Animal Kingdom and doing those tours is a very good reason to go. You don't have all the rides? Cool. You don't have to deal with that during the day. Okay, so what do? You go on the Savor the Savannah tour. You go on the Walking with Giants tour, which is with the elephants. You go on the Rhino tour. There are so many different tours that you can do.
Planet Watch, pet the animals.
Yeah.
You do do the drawing with the animator. We haven't talked about that yet.
My wife doesn't like going to the petting zoo area because she has a couple animals she's allergic to, and the one she's most allergic to are goats. Believe it or not.
Yep, there's goats there.
But yeah, like there's so many animals. It's Animal Kingdom, right? And it actually has and delivers the animals. And not only that, but it's an amazing conservation place. And if you actually go and learn about that in one of those tours, a tour is a great way to spend your Animal Kingdom day this upcoming year.
Well, if you like that idea and you want to know more information on it, we could go on longer, but shoot us a message and Nick can tell you some more information about that specific tour.
Absolutely.
But we're going to wrap it up. But I think the purpose of this episode was really, hey, don't sleep on it. It can be a full day park if you make it a full day park.
Yes.
Dig a little deeper. See what else is available there. I know Zootopia just opened, and use that as a draw for your kids. Hey, let's go to Animal Kingdom. You get to see the Zootopia show, and then try some of these other different things. Try a new restaurant. Go on one of the hiking trails you haven't been on before. Go see the tigers.
Experience.
Exactly. Animation experience is one of our favorite. Just take the train ride.
Yeah.
Even if you don't go out and draw, if you're not an art person and you don't feel like drawing, just take the train ride. Like even that is nice because you get to see backstage. You get to see where they take care of the animals, and that is kind of cool to see behind the scenes a little bit.
Yes.
Go sit in an auditorium and get comfortable and watch Finding Nemo. The only drawback of Lion King, and that's why I said the word comfortable, is you're sitting on level 300 of the Bills Stadium. Yeah. It's those aluminum benches, which is the only drawback.
It's
the rest
only
is
drawback.
great.
Yeah.
The rest is great. So there's so much good stuff to do, and I know that there's listeners that are just saying, "Yes, you are right. This is such a great park." So we're just trying to shine a little light on a park that doesn't have a lot open.
And I've been admittedly like down on this park, but it's more so because I was disappointed because I used to like to spend 2 days there. I'll spend one day here this summer, and we'll probably do a tour. I think my wife wants to do a tour there this summer, possibly the Savor the Savannah. There's a couple other ones that we were looking at too. So. Guys, thank you so much. We really appreciate all the support. But it's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, and tomorrow's just a list away.
Tune in next time, and we'll see you real soon.